Yeah. So now maybe we'll go to the third speaker and then we'll have a good discussion. So I'll just introduce the speaker now. We have a third speaker, Mr. Ravindra Vasisht, Regional Director from Hexagon Agility India, and he's basically an electrical engineer and a postgraduate from the Institute of Rural Management. For about 36 years of corporate experience in the field of sales, business development, and corporate strategy, and he has a wide industrial experience in food, plastics, automotive, healthcare, defense. For about 11 years experience in natural gas, clean energy with the Hexagon Agility. He has worked in reputed organizations like NDDB, Alpha Level, Nipro, Tata Group in the past. In Hexagon Agility, he introduced the concept of composite type of CNG and hydrogen cylinders to India, the first CNG bus with a range of about 1,000 kilometers in India. He is a voracious reader, writer, and keen interest in defense, with strategy in politics, good sense of humor, and enjoy traveling. Let's welcome him for this ICS Summit 2021 to present his Type 4 cylinders. Welcome you, sir. You are muted. You are muted.
Thank you so much. Really feel proud to be here. So let me just start off without much ado. I hope you're able to see the screen. See, the Hexagon Group has a very simple three-word vision and mission that we have, which is about clean air everywhere. Without going into a lot of explanations about what we would like to achieve and do. We are a very high-growth technology company, and Mitsui Japan is our largest shareholder. We've been manufacturers of composite cylinders for the last now almost 50 plus years, of which in the commercial space we have been since about 2005. This is headquartered in Ålesund in Norway, about 800 plus employees, and it's publicly listed on the Oslo Stock Exchange. If you look at our global business areas, we are into LPG cylinders, again with composites, then the mobile pipeline, which is the transportation of gas, light duty vehicles, heavy duty vehicles, and then hydrogen products which are being used on applications like trains and ferries in Europe. And we have about 25 locations worldwide, including 10 manufacturing and assembly locations that we have. If you look at our product competencies, it varies from energy storage to energy management, the system integration, the user interface, all of that. And we also have a complete system capability for the entire system solutions that a customer would require on any of these solutions that are used. And if you look at the kind of work that we do out there in the marketplace, we have a very strong relationship across a whole ecosystem where we work with OEMs, we work with engine manufacturers, we work with the fleet and end users, and then we work also with the refueling infrastructure companies, because very often, even though my product is supplied to an OEM and used by a fleet or an end user, it is extremely important that it integrates into an operational experience in the field where everybody feels comfortable and happy. And that is where the work with the refueling infrastructure and engines and all these people come in. So if you look at Hexagon in the hydrogen chain, we are what I would call as future ready. So we have right from 950 bar ground storage capabilities to 700, 500, 380 and 350 bar in the hydrogen space. Though we do have cylinders of 250 and 200 bar, they're normally not very much used for hydrogen applications. So it is 350 and above that really comes into play here. But if you look at the Indian renewable energy history, prior to the 90s, prior to the liberalization era, India was one of the largest and the biggest in the world in terms of utilization of renewable energy. And since then, while a number of other countries have grown, we have actually dipped to a large extent for various reasons. And today, when you look at the new clean energy story, you have options like CNG, which is licensed. Then you have LNG, which is open to all without any licensing, but only for automotive application. Hydrogen and electricity is again open to all, barring for statutory applications and requirements. So the challenge in the clean energy space in the country today, as we have seen, is that a market is slightly confused and investments as a consequence of that get delayed and fragmented between various options that are out there in the market, because almost all of them are being pursued with a equal vigor, if I may say so. And I think it's now time to reclaim the leadership globally by India in terms of renewable energy usage. So if I have to look at what we can offer for India and what we are suggesting and discussing, is one, let's say a car where you have multiple storage units up to 700 bar, but right now there are no such cars available in India. Trucks, as you can see, these are the products that we have actually been having in the marketplace currently. Trucks with multiple storage units up to 700 bar storage, but India is still at 350 bar and we have not yet graduated beyond that. Large bulk gas transportation solutions, which you can see on the right side, last photograph, they could be at least 500 bar, but India is still at 250 bar in terms of what is used in the field and encouraged. Now, when you look at between trucks and buses, while both of them are options, the important factor here is why I have taken a truck is one long distance truck means even if you replace it with natural gas, I'm not even getting into hydrogen, means 20 cars are removed from the road in terms of emissions. That is the kind of emissions that a truck would emanate. So what a truck would need is range, and range means storage, and storage means obviously space on the truck, and that is where we come up with a lot of innovative solutions. Like if you see the one on the left, the storage solution is right at the back of the truck. Then I've shown you the figure of how this back of the cab storage looks like. And then this is a photograph of Hyundai, where again they have it at the back of the truck, but integrated in such a manner that it is completely hidden and not easily seen. Now, these kind of designs allow a truck to travel as much as 750 kilometers range. And that is what is crucial in the Indian context, because there is no point in trying to say that you are going to have something that is just a few hundred kilometers and then have a refueling infrastructure that is required. Whereas it has to be an alternative to diesel for a user experience to be interesting and attractive. Now, what happens in India is that we force fit the future into the existing for cost reasons, and that often becomes the stumbling block in progressing as fast as we can, actually speaking. Now, if you look at what is done globally, these are all solutions that we have provided. Whether you look at Mexico, Israel, Vietnam, Malaysia, Thailand, which are some of the countries being much smaller than us, they use very, very large units for transportation, whereas we still use very small units, as you can see in the picture at the bottom right. So the limit in India for transportation of gas is today about 9,900 liters water volume totally, whereas globally they look at 40,000 liters plus. Now, the moment you move to something like 40,000 liters plus, your cost of transportation comes down drastically, and it makes a big impact economically for any user when transporting gas. Now, the factors that drive the design of a storage system for any customer is, of course, one is the weight, depending upon whether it is on road or whether it is on the land, the amount of storage that they would require. Then the application and usage, where are you going to be filling it into a truck? Are you going to be doing whatever it is with it? So that is another factor. And the entire flow chain from generation to application has to be mapped out. Now, the reason in the case of hydrogen that this is crucial is that if, let us say, you have a requirement of 350 bar on a truck and you are able to transport or store it at 500 bar, then the amount of compression or lack of compression requirements at the point of filling becomes very different. Then you have, let us say, storage at 250 bar, and then you have to dispense it at 350 bar or maybe higher. So one needs to balance the costs between what it would cost for a compressor, what it would cost for a dispenser, and what it would cost for storage and transportation, which will then give you the best option of transportation in terms of either it is 350 or 500 or 700, and that is very crucial for any project to be successful economically. Now, the various factors that influence this decision is, of course, your capital cost, manufacturability, economies of scale, the return on investment, performance, the infrastructure available, and then, of course, the time to market depending upon the demand that is there, all of that. Which leaves us with two things. One is you have available solutions, and then you have futuristic solutions, a lot of which the speakers before of me have spoken about and are going on. So what I'm talking about is the available solutions that are there in the market and being used since long. And that is the Type 4 composite cylinders. Now, these are not only just available and proven, they are lightweight, 70% lighter than steel. There is zero corrosion or rusting, infinite fatigue life, so there is no question of metal embrittlement that could happen here. And in a fire, the behavior of a Type 4 cylinder is very different from that of steel, and to that extent offering a much higher level of safety. And as you can see, the strength of a composite cylinder is such that we have even run a battle tank over it without it, becoming pieces or whatever. That's the kind of strength it has. Now, one of the other aspects of what I would call as a fact of life coming from the industry is the users are not trying to save the planet, but the government would like to save the planet with a lot of policies and programs, while the investors who become the bridge between the users and the government, they need to meet the user demands and the shareholders' demands in terms of the return on investments and what they do. So all three different levels of interest need to converge, and what we feel from a convergence of interest would be a kind of a financial, where it could be maybe taxes, duties, subsidies. Second, which is more important to us, is the statutory aspects, wherein the new that is offered cannot be judged by the existing laws or systems, as the consequence of which, like I said, it becomes that much more harder to jump the hoops. And the third is allowing the policy direction and letting the market drive this going forward, depending upon wherever the money flows in, wherever the performance comes in. So this is a very, very quick and short presentation about what we are, and that's about it. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Ravindra. It's a wonderful presentation. And you exactly said the words like the market is bit dilute and then we are confused what to do. There are many options and we have to finalize that. That's really interesting. And one thing which I would like to ask is, we are concentrating more on the storage of hydrogen in the type 4 cylinders, but are you not looking at storing for ground purpose?
The same
Because a
cylinders,
lot of renewable energy is getting wasted, and the battery also cannot take that much of power. So the only way is to go for this hydrogen-based systems.
see, the composite cylinders can be used either for ground storage or for transportation or for onboard applications in an automobile. So you have all three options available with composite cylinders.
Yeah, but the thing is, it is very expensive. I can afford to use it for transportation application, but not for ground storage.
Well, I do understand, but the option that you have, which is today steel, is so heavy that sometimes even on a ground storage, it can have problems. Like for example, I can tell you at a particular project we are now talking about, the size of the steel cylinders are limited, whereas we can have very, very large sized composite cylinders, like I said, each of them about 8,500 liters water volume, which will then reduce the infrastructure required in whatever you're setting up. And then because of the lighter weight, there can even be innovative solutions like where it can go on the roof of a building. Whereas these kind of solutions are not being pursued right now because the focus is on steel, and then they say it is extremely heavy. And we have found in the marketplace that the return on investment on this, when you combine, especially for hydrogen, when you combine the lifetime cost, this ends up far cheaper than steel.
And you are also mentioned that we cannot go beyond 250 bar in India. Probably, I think you need to talk to government to increase the pressure range. Somebody has to build it.